Nobody expected this. Nobody predicted this. Yet, here we are, witnessing one of the most insane NBA Finals matchups in recent memory. Two teams, two completely different paths, and one goal: to rewrite their franchise history. If you told someone a year ago that these two squads would be clashing for the championship, they'd laugh you off the internet. But now it's real. It's happening. And this might just be the beginning of a new NBA era. All season long, analysts talked about the usual suspects: Boston, Denver, maybe even Milwaukee. But nobody, and I mean nobody, had Indiana and OKC locked in as finals contenders before the season tipped off. This wasn't supposed to be the story. These weren't supposed to be the characters. But guess what? They wrote their own script. The Oklahoma City Thunder came into the season with youth, depth, and something to prove. People thought they were 1 year away, that this would be a solid step forward, but not the leap, that next year would be their year. But apparently, the Thunder had other plans. Led by the newly crowned MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, OKC didn't just win games, they dominated. They finished with the best record in the league and made veteran playoff-tested teams look like they didn't belong on the court with them. Then you've got Indiana, the team nobody could quite figure out. Hot and cold, dangerous but inconsistent, until it mattered most. Once the playoffs started, something changed. They went from just another team to unstoppable force. They knocked out Giannis and the Bucks. They buried a 64-win Cavs team in 5 games. And then they put the Knicks away with cold-blooded execution that felt personal. The Pacers didn't just win, they sent messages. Now these two teams are here. The Thunder versus the Pacers. The NBA Finals. It almost doesn't feel real. It feels like a fever dream of speed, skill, youth, and fire. Two franchises that built themselves brick by brick, without superstar free agent drama, without media hype, just pure basketball. And now, they're about to clash in what might be the most thrilling finals we've seen in over a decade. But let's take a step back. How did they even get here? How did these two underdog stories become the headliners? Because trust me, once you understand the path that they took, you'll realize why this matchup isn't just surprising. It's insane. OKC's journey was a gauntlet. In the first round, they obliterated the Memphis Grizzlies like it was a preseason game. Then came Denver, a brutal 7-game war against Nikola Jokic and the defending champs. Everyone thought this was where OKC's run ended, but Game 7 happened, and the Thunder made it crystal clear they weren't going anywhere. Then came Minnesota, a team built on defense and grit. Didn't matter. OKC handled them in 5. No drama, no mercy, just business. Meanwhile, Indiana was building a highlight reel of upsets. They made Giannis look human, they made the Cavs look lost, and they made the Knicks look exhausted. What stands out? Every series was different. They adapted, they evolved, and when it mattered most, when games were tight and legs were heavy, Tyrese. Haliburton turned into a killer, silent, cold, and surgical. But it's not just about the stars. These teams are deep, scary deep, and that's what makes this finals matchup so crazy. Most finals teams rely on 6 or 7 guys, maybe 8. OKC and Indiana, they can go 10 deep and not miss a beat. You've got bench players dropping 20 on any given night. Guys like Ben Mathurin, TJ McConnell, Isaiah Joe, and Cason Wallace stepping up like seasoned vets. This series isn't going to be about just Shai or Haliburton. It's going to be about who wants it more, who adjusts faster, who breaks first. And the wildest part? These teams are mirror images. Same pace, same unselfish ball movement, same chip on the shoulder. This is going to be a chess match disguised as a sprint. And it might not just be a finals. It might be the beginning of a rivalry that defines the next 5 years of the NBA. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers were never meant to be here, at least not according to the so-called experts. The NBA is a league built on stars and legacies, and for years, people believed you needed to stack all-stars or make massive trades just to sniff the finals. But these two teams rewrote that formula. They didn't follow the blueprint. They broke it. Let's start with the Thunder. A few years ago, this team was buried. People laughed when they traded away Paul George and Russell Westbrook. They said OKC was entering a rebuild that would take a decade. But the Thunder front office didn't fold. They went all in on youth, development, and patience. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he wasn't supposed to become this good. Jalen Williams, most people didn't even know his name on draft night. Chet Holmgren, a walking question mark after missing an entire season. But guess what? They all hit. Every move. Every piece. Sam Presti put together a team that's not just young and talented, they're fearless. These guys walk into every game like they're the ones to beat. And more often than not, they are. And now, after carving through the Western Conference, they've got just 4 wins standing between them and their first championship since moving to OKC. Then there's Indiana, the ultimate wild card. This team wasn't even supposed to make it out of the first round. People said they were too young, too inexperienced, not tough enough. But what they forgot is that experience means nothing if you've got fire in your veins. And the Pacers? They've been playing like every game is their last. Tyrese Haliburton has evolved into a true superstar. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but he's efficient, dangerous, and terrifying when the lights get bright. He controls the tempo, sees the game 5 seconds ahead, and when he decides to take over, it's game over. But he's not alone. Pascal Siakam has brought a championship mindset. Obi Toppin is flying around like he's got rockets in his shoes. TJ McConnell is out there wrecking second units and playing with more heart than half the league. And don't forget, this team went through the fire last year, making it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. That loss stuck with them. It hardened them. And this year, they weren't going to let that happen again. Both teams have something to prove. For the Thunder, it's about showing the world that youth doesn't mean inexperience. That a team full of 25-year-olds can play smarter, harder, and better than anyone else. For Indiana, it's about respect. The Pacers have been slept on all season long. No hype, no headlines, just wins. They're tired of being overlooked, and now they have the biggest stage to change that. But the craziest part? These teams are built the same way. Both built through the draft. Both developed their stars in-house. Both avoided the drama and chaos that consumes so many franchises. And both are here now, ready to clash in a matchup that's not just about basketball, it's about the future of the league. This isn't just a finals. This is a changing of the guard. The old dynasties are gone. The super teams are fading. And what's rising in their place is something more exciting, more real, and more dangerous. Teams like OKC and Indiana are proving you don't need to buy a championship, you can build one. And that's what makes this so insane. 2 teams, built from the ground up, are now standing at the top of the mountain. Only one of them gets to plant the flag. Only one gets to call themselves champion. And if you think this series is going to be easy for either side, you haven't been paying attention. If you're looking for star power, you've got it. If you're looking for chemistry, you've got it. But the one thing that makes this finals matchup truly crazy, it's what happens when 2 teams that refuse to lose collide. Because that's exactly what we're about to witness. Fire meeting fire. Let's talk about the Thunder again for a moment. This team isn't just built on young talent, they're built on edge. They've got this swagger that feels earned, not given. They walk into arenas like they own them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has officially entered that tier. The one where every defender knows what's coming, but can't stop it anyway. He's calm, controlled, but deadly. His mid-range jumper is automatic. His pace? Unmatched. And the scariest part, he doesn't force anything. He just takes over. But the beauty of OKC isn't just Shai. It's how connected this group is. You've got Jalen Williams, a Swiss Army knife. He'll guard your best player, drop 20 on your head, and make it look routine. Chet Holmgren has transformed OKC's defense into a nightmare. He clogs the paint, alters shots, and still stretches the floor with his shooting. And the bench? They're not just there to rest the starters, they change games. Kaysen Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins. These guys could start on other teams, and they're here making plays when it matters most. But if there's one team that can match that intensity, it's the Indiana Pacers. Because while OKC plays like they've got nothing to prove, Indiana plays like they've got everything to prove. And that hunger? It's dangerous. Tyrese Haliburton is the brain of this team, but don't get it twisted, he's also the heart. His passes look like magic tricks. His IQ is through the roof. And when the moment gets big, he doesn't shrink. He expands. You saw it against Cleveland. You saw it against New York. Game on the line? Ball in his hands. And more often than not, he delivers. But here's the secret weapon: the depth. No team in these playoffs has had more guys step up when it counts. One night, it's Ben Shepherd hitting clutch shots. The next night, it's Andrew Nembhard locking up the other team's best scorer. Benedict Mathurin, instant offense off the bench. TJ McConnell, a walking spark plug. You cannot take your foot off the gas against Indiana, because the moment you do, they bury you. And maybe that's what makes this finals so unpredictable. These two teams are so similar, it's almost eerie. They both run fast. They both move the ball. They both trust their systems and play for each other. There's no freelancing, no ISO-heavy hero ball nonsense. Every possession is sharp, precise, and dangerous. And that's what's going to turn this series into a war. Because there's no obvious weak link, no player you can target, no lineup you can relax against. This isn't like those years where one team had a clear superstar advantage. This isn't about who has the biggest name. It's about who executes better, who stays sharper, who wants it more. And right now, nobody knows who that is. That's the suspense. That's the madness. Every game of this series is going to feel like a coin flip, but with fireworks. Every run, every swing in momentum is going to shift the balance of the entire series. No lead is safe. No moment is small. Because both teams have made it clear. They're not satisfied with just being here. They want to win it all. And they're willing to fight tooth and nail to make that happen. This NBA Finals matchup isn't just about talent. It's about brains. Because what separates good teams from great ones? Adjustments, execution, schemes. And when you've got two of the best tacticians in the game, Mark Daigneault and Rick Carlisle, going head to head, you're not watching just basketball anymore. You're watching chess. Let's start with OKC. Mark Daigneault might be the most underrated coach in the league right now. Quietly, he's built an identity. That's terrifying. Fast, disciplined, and positionless. This team switches everything. They help at the right moments. They rotate like clockwork. You don't see missed assignments, you don't see mental lapses, and you don't see panic. Offensively, they're a machine. It's all about creating space. Dribble penetration from Shai draws in defenders, and boom, someone's open. Whether it's Chet popping to the corner, Jalen Williams slashing through the middle, or Isaiah Joe standing wide open like he's practicing in an empty gym, someone's getting a clean look. And if you send two to the ball, OKC punishes you instantly. But Rick Carlisle's Indiana Pacers aren't just built to survive that. They're built to disrupt it. Carlisle has done something rare. He's let his players be themselves, while still keeping them on a tight strategic leash. Indiana's defense might not be elite on paper, but it's disruptive. They're fast. They jump passing lanes. They throw different looks every other quarter. 1 minute it's man. Next minute, a matchup zone. Then they start trapping the ball handler on the wing and force a 24-second violation before you even realize what happened. On offense, they live in organized chaos. There's so much motion, so much activity. Defenders get lost constantly. One guy cuts, another guy screens. A third guy slips behind the defense. It's relentless. They're not waiting for Tyrese Haliburton to create something out of nothing. The system creates the opportunities. And what's even more wild? OKC does the exact same thing. Watch both of these teams for 5 minutes and you'll realize they mirror each other. It's like two masters playing the same playbook, but with different pieces. The Thunder want to run, so do the Pacers. The Thunder want to confuse you with movement, so do the Pacers. They both want to shoot early in the shot clock, they both want to get downhill, and they both crash the offensive glass, like maniacs. So, what happens when your strengths are also your opponent's strengths? That's when the game becomes mental. That's when every timeout matters. That's when every rotation becomes a gamble. And that's where this series gets crazy. Because neither coach has an obvious answer. There's no easy button. No mismatch to exploit. Every move comes with risk. Every adjustment triggers a new counter. This series is going to evolve game by game, quarter by quarter, possession by possession. And the X factors? Oh, they're everywhere. Will Chet Holmgren hold his own against Indiana's physicality in the paint? Can Obi Toppin and Pascal Siakam punish him inside? Can Indiana's bench keep up with OKC's pressure when Tyrese sits? Will Andrew Nembhard be able to contain Shai, even for just a few possessions at a time? These are the questions that decide championships. And the craziest part is, we won't know the answers until the final buzzer of each game. Because nothing about this series is predictable. Nothing is guaranteed. This isn't just a battle of stars. It's not just youth versus youth. It's systems versus systems. It's timing, discipline, execution. And whoever wins this chess match isn't just going to be the NBA champion. They're going to define how the game is played moving forward. Because what we're watching right now, it's the future of basketball. In real time, every NBA Finals tells a story. But this one? This isn't just a story. It's a defining chapter in the careers of everyone involved. And no matter who wins, someone's life is about to change forever. Let's start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just a couple of years ago, people thought he was a good stats guy on a bad team. Quiet. Low-key. Not the loudest name in the room. But now, he's an MVP. He's led his team to 68 wins. He's destroyed defenses all season long and did it again in the playoffs. But still, the questions linger. Can he lead a team to a championship? Is he just a regular season phenom? This is the moment that will silence every doubt. Because if Shai wins this series, and he does it against a deep, dangerous Pacers team, we're not just talking about a rising star anymore. We're talking about a legend in the making.